what a great family effort, Taylor. You just said you're in a little bit of shock. He's been working up to a win, and Paul and I were just talking off camera before about that. Yes, his last start was a last and a zero, but he's been racing far better than that.
Oh, I'm speechless. I've never known a horse to be so unlucky every start. As soon as he drew barrier 1, I thought, this is a race for him. Probably did a bit too much work out the gate just to hold off my challengers, but once Grant crossed me and he managed to relax, he was pretty comfortable. But the way he hit the line then, he's not normally a sit sprint horse. He's actually got to be out and working, doing it tough. But yeah, I can't complain. He's gone super.
This is your first drive on him. What did you think?
Yeah, I'd driven him once before actually at Ararat, and he won that night, and Alan couldn't get there, so I sort of thought he was a nice little horse, sort of a little bit scary driving him around Ararat, and I think his gait's improved definitely since that night, and he felt really good all the way, and yeah, sort of the race was ran to suit, and we got the right splits, but yeah, he was terrific and just awesome to win races for really good people, and they deserve it with all the hard work they put in.
Yeah, Carla and Dean put in a lot of work with a lot of their trotters, and Zarem is no exception. You sort of said the race was run to suit. I'm a bit surprised you said that because he does normally get back in the field, but you felt he was all right, sort of sitting up on the pace?
Yeah, talking to Dean probably before the race, and they thought we'd get across to the fence, so do remember when I drove him and watching him, he can get out of the gate pretty good. Yep. I suppose when you get a nice draw, sometimes you've got to try and take advantage of it, and obviously once we got across, and probably didn't feel like we were going that quick, and the first quarter come up was solid enough, and I'd sort of already had to hold out a challenge, so was happy enough to take the sit on Puppet, and he got us to the top of the straight, and yeah, he felt like the winner a fair way out, and was travelling really good coming to the home turn, and when we asked him for a bit of effort, he sprinted through well.
James Herbertson, who joins us now, and James, Kate Hargrave's looking to use your claim here tonight and found the perfect race for Street Kid.
Yeah, no, it was a good race for him, and he drew well. He's got good gate speed, he's a good miler. He's proved that time and time again here. But tonight was a good effort. He kicked the wheel coming off the gate, and we probably wanted a 31 instead of about a 30.5. But he still stuck on good, and it was a credit to him.
Yeah, look, I have no shame in admitting that I thought he was a little bit outclassed tonight. I didn't think his form was going to stack up, but he's proved me wrong, and he looked really solid on the line.
Yeah, no, he still had a bit left, but it's wet tonight, as everyone well knows, and 54 on that sort of track's pretty good going, and he was over racing a bit through the middle stages as well. So, he's probably gone in himself, sort of 29-second quarter, and probably left him a little bit vulnerable late, but he's still good enough to stick it out.
Paul and I didn't really get to have a good look at him in the prelim, Greg, and we've just seen him coming back. He is a beautiful looking colt.
Yeah, he is. He's hasn't got a lot of size about him, but he's he's very nicely put together colt. Still a little bit green to the racing paper, I suppose, only having his second race start, but he's certainly got a big motor.
He's the typical bettor's delight too. He's a little bit on the smaller and chunkier side. They're either very small or they're giants, but he's a little bit on the smaller side, and yeah, he has got plenty of upside and looked very strong there too at the end of the 26-7 quarter. Yeah,
that's right. When it comes to breeding with bettor's delights, obviously the smaller ones seem to be the better ones, so that's a good thing. And yeah, he's like I say, he's got a very good motor, and very slick up the straight under very trying conditions tonight, and was quite strong. So being first up too, you think he's only going to benefit from that run, and obviously improve with racing experience. So exciting future ahead, I'm sure.
The hiccups were well documented, and it must have been just a little bit nerve-wracking for you bringing him back tonight, but I'm sure that you did it in full confidence though too, because you know what sort of horse you've got.
Yeah, it's actually funny. There's I sort of wasn't too worried about getting beat last week. That's racing. That happens. But I think there's more pressure leading into this week, considering he missed a few days, and he was going to need the run. So it was one of them things. But anyway, it worked out good.
What are you sort of thinking now for him going forward? You just said he obviously needs the run tonight, and he's had a good blowout. And how does that sort of put him now in the future sort of stead and heading towards, you know, as everyone's talking about that potential run against Ride High?
Yeah, I think at the moment just sort of we take week by week really. There's nothing set in stone just yet with the Victoria Cup, whether that's going to go ahead at the scheduled date or what's going to happen there. So at the moment we'll keep him healthy and keep him racing and yeah, just play it by ear.
Darby, with no offence to the filly, or to the mare, sorry, it probably wasn't the one that they thought was going to win, but she's been racing in fantastic form.
Yeah, she's been going super, and every time I've driven her, she's always, you know, gone that way. So she followed the speed that well tonight and just felt incredible, and obviously finished off really well.
She's got a few tricks. She can misbehave and she can get a bit fired up, but I just noticed when she came back then that she's got no knee boots, no shin boots on at all, so she's obviously a very clean going trotter.
Yeah, she's a beautiful trotter, just so smooth in her gait and the way she goes. I think personally the good trotter like that's just the greatest thing to drive and the best feeling. So, you know, driving one like her is just awesome.
Very impressive win for you to have for your first drive on her.
Yeah, definitely. Just very lucky that her usual driver, Gwen Craven, unfortunately was out recovering from another knee operation, so I had the chance to get a sit behind her, and you know, we know she's a quality mare at her best by watching what she's done, but she gave me a great feel and got the job done nicely.
Did a lot of work for you too. She worked around to the front, the field, and then sat outside the leader, and still looked really nice and strong on the line.
Yeah, definitely. Look, you know, she probably has raced that way in a lot of the big races that she's won. She won a couple of New South Wales challenges from outside the leader, so she's no stranger to doing a bit of work. But in saying that, when we got round, we did get a really good breather that second split, and we really didn't have to quicken up until Jodie Quinlan pulled out at the 600, and she was really sharp to the line.
It's a very hard horse to catch, but he's been a little bit easier to catch since you've been jumping on. He seems to respond well to your driving.
Yeah, I've had a bit of success with Rocky over the time. When Jeff was training him up in Mildura, I'd go up there and drive him, and probably got a not too bad of a strike rate on him.
It was an interestingly run race. I suppose the ever-changing lead sort of made things a little bit unpredictable, but how did it sort of play out for you?
Yeah, it was always sort of my plan to get up to the breeze at some stage if I could, because he just really lacks speed. So if he can go up there and control the tempo, you know, he's a whole lot better for it. So it was always my plan to get there, and it sort of worked out good for me, being in the 1-1 and only had to go around one horse to get there by the bell.
You're a little bit concerned going into the first turn, or speed was very hot.
Yeah, no, it was. We were sort of burning pretty quick down to the post, and then that lead time was 38 something there. I just seen then, which is pretty quick. So especially on a night like tonight. So yeah, no, it was a little bit of concern, but his trial was really good, and yeah, every time he comes back, he just seems to get better and better.
He's made it now 5 wins, from his last 5 starts. So he's in red hot form, and I think I've heard that Russell Jack got a bit of an opinion of him, and maybe rightly so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, like I said, he's got better and better with time. I think if he learns to race and learns to settle, that's his biggest thing. He gets pretty keen. So if he can sort of come off the arm and settle, and you know, once he gets down to the metropolitan grade, which he's basically nearly at now, if he can settle him, he's very quick off the speed too. So I think he'll make it a pretty nice horse.